This short video, Neshamah yoga and mindful movement video. This is the third video in a series of 3 in support and in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month in May. Our other 2 videos, one is for depression, to support you if you're feeling down and depressed. The other one is for anxiety, if you have panic and stress and tension and tend toward anxiety. And this one is a general mood balancing video that will offer breathing techniques and movement that creates balance in the nervous system. So you're welcome to use all of the videos whenever you need them. There are some activities that have a crossover. You might see a couple of familiar things as well as very different things. So the main difference is the breathing. So when we are feeling depressed, usually want to bring more breath in and energize and oxygenate the body and move in ways that open our hearts to help us get out of that deep state of lethargy. And when we're anxious, we're usually breathing fast or holding our breath or breathing up in our chest, and so we want to slow down our breath. So we do that in the anxiety video. And this one is going to practice a balance of that. So we're going to have equal breathing in and out, some forward folding, some back bending, just a nice general practice to support your mood and your energy in your body, mind, and spirit. So we'll start with our breathing technique after we check in with how we're doing. So wherever you are, seated on the floor or in a chair, we do this with every one of our practices, our videos. We just look around the room and or outdoors, wherever you are practicing, and just get a sense of where you are. And you might let your eyes settle on something that is pleasing to the eye, that makes you feel good. And then if you'd like to close your eyes, you can close them or you can keep them open if that's more comfortable. Just start to notice how your body feels. So settle into the support beneath you. Feel your feet wherever they are. Notice what's true for you in this moment. If you're carrying any tension, any areas of discomfort, and also areas that feel pretty good, that are relaxed or feel awake and alive. And then notice your breath, the quality of your breathing. When you breathe in, what parts of your body expand to let that breath in? When you breathe out, what could soften? And notice the quality of your mind. So if your mind was a sky and the clouds are your thoughts, would your sky be filled with clouds? Would there be 1 or 2 passing by? Getting just a general weather report in the sky of your mind. And then letting your attention settle on your heart or wherever you feel emotions in your body. And noticing any predominant emotions that you have going on for you right now. Maybe there's more than one. And extending acceptance and compassion for whatever it is that's true for you. And then from here, now that we're a little more embodied in breath and mind, we'll practice our equal breathing. So with equal breathing, well, we have two techniques. So one is more simple, and I will show you that one first. So equal breath, it's called samavriti in the yoga tradition in Sanskrit. You don't have to remember that, just think equal breath. You breathe in, you breathe out, equal, which we don't usually do when we're breathing unconsciously. So it helps to count. You can breathe in and count until you're full, and that's different for everybody. So for an example, you might breathe in through your nose to a count of 4. You're full, and then right away, breathe out to a count of 4. And that might take some practice. So you might breathe in to your count of 4, and then as you breathe out, you realize you're out of air by 2, or you're out of air not until you get to 6. So it's just stay consistent with your pacing of how you count, and you'll get to know your own lung capacity and breathe in a way that doesn't create tension. So you don't want to breathe in and be like 4 and then you just try to breathe in a relaxed way, and start with that. So just equal breath counting, breathing and exhaling through the mouth, and we'll do that for a minute. Good. So you get the idea of the practice. Doesn't matter what number you get to, just keep them the same, both on the inhale and the exhale if possible. The other technique is a little more advanced in terms of breathing in and out through different nostrils. Some of you are going to be familiar with this already, and some of you this is going to be totally brand new. So this helps to balance the right and left sides of the brain. That's part of the practice we're doing today, is just to bring balance to both sides of the brain and in our yoga movements. So to do this practice, it's called alternate nostril breath in English. So you will bring your thumb to your right side of your nose, add your middle finger to the left side of your nose. So you can just go, well, traditionally, it's you put 2 fingers up on your forehead, I guess, so you go from your thumb to your ring finger. But that can get kind of complicated, so I don't care what fingers you use. You can just close one side with your thumb, close the other side with either your middle or your ring finger. Okay, you're going to go back and forth. You'll take a big breath in, let it out. Then you're going to close the right side of your nose and breathe in through the left. As soon as you're full, you're going to close your left nostril and breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Close the right and exhale through the left. Inhale through left. Close the left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. And then close right, exhale left for the last time. Let all the air out of the left side. Good. And then let your hand rest. And breathe naturally. So we start on the left side and end on the left side because that tends to balance the nervous system. If we started the other way, it would energize the nervous system in the yogic tradition. So just always start, if you're looking to balance, start on the left and then end on the left. And if your nose is too congested and you're not able to do that practice, it's no problem. Just practice equal breathing, counting, inhale and exhaling at the same pace. So that's the magic of breath for balancing the nervous system, as well as influencing it toward relaxation if we're feeling anxiety, or energizing if we're feeling depression, which you'll see in the other videos. So those are our breathing techniques. Let's just move the spine a little bit. So I'm doing this all from a chair, so it's accessible to everyone, but if you want to be on your hands and your knees and you're used to doing those kinds of things in yoga, go for it. I'll go sideways. We're going to inhale, gaze up, open up that chest, and then exhale, round the back. You're going to scoop your tailbone underneath you and round the shoulders. Now, if you have osteoporosis and you know that you have osteoporosis, then you want to avoid this rounding, this deep rounding of the back. You could instead stay upright and just stretch your arms forward, drop your shoulders away from your ears, and get a nice stretch between the shoulder blades. You are welcome to come into, this is cow. You're welcome to come into this. Just be careful rounding the back. Not recommended for osteoporosis. Otherwise, we're working on connecting inhales and exhales. Good. And then we'll come into side bending. So we'll inhale one arm up and exhale over. And change sides. Inhale up, exhale over. So I'm not collapsing. I'm reaching at a diagonal and out, and I'm rooting down through that hip on either side. Let's do a couple more. Hold the belly in. And last one. Good. You'll find this is also in the depression, yoga for depression video. It's always good to move the spine in all of its ranges of motion. So the next range of motion is our twists, which you will also avoid if you have osteoporosis. We don't want coming into deep twists. So you can do your equal breathing while we twist and pass this one up if you need to. Otherwise, we're going to inhale, reach up, and then exhale, take a twist. So my left hand is on my right knee and my right hand is behind me. You can hold your chair or the floor. Take a breath. Inhale. And come through center and exhale, twist to the other side. Now you can do this whatever pace matches your breath. So do this on your own, connecting your breath to your movement. So think of practicing equal breath, now extending that into your yoga movements or your mindful movements, which brings balance to the nervous system. We'll do one more. We'll come up and over and then up, and then bring your hands through center. Good. Let's do a little back bend and a forward fold. From the chair, this looks like sitting on the edge of your seat and reaching back, pressing into your chair, or reaching for the back of the chair, holding on to the little handles there, and then open up the chest and take a few breaths here in this back bend. You can gaze up without letting your head drop, and then slowly bring your hands forward, and you can start to come into a forward fold. So with osteoporosis, you don't want to come all the way down because it's going to cause pressure in the spine. You can come halfway with a flat back, gazing down. If you are clear of osteoporosis and you know you can do this full range of motion, then you're going to come all the way down. You can let your head hang. Try to get in between your knees. This is our inversion. From standing, you can do this by reaching up and doing cactus arms, and then exhaling, just coming down into your forward fold. Your knees can be as bent as you need them to be, and taking a few breaths here. And then when you come up, if you're standing, you want to come up with your flat back. So you're going to look up and slide your hands up your body. Reach your arms up, breathe in. You can exhale, make some goalpost or cactus arms, open up the heart. And then you can come all the way down again into your forward fold, nice and slow, with bent knees if needed. Let your head hang. If you're using your chair, if you're kind of in between chair and standing, you can always use your chair as support here. That's always nice because then you're not hanging in space. So just make sure you're not just hanging without your hands having something to land on. So just let your head go and use the chair if you need it. So our nervous system gets the benefit of stimulation and relaxation through our back bend, heart opener, and our forward bend. And then go ahead and come on up. Good. So we've got all the range of motion of our spine. And then my favorite, if you've taken my classes, you know this is coming, 3 thumps. So we're going to take our fingertips, find your collarbones, and just start to slide your fingers under your collarbones and just start to tap. So the 3 areas that we're tapping in Chinese medicine are supporting the meridians in the body, and these particular points are for regulating the immune system and to help balance you. It gives you energy without making you feel anxious. So I'm tapping these points. Then we're going to tap the center of the chest, or you can use soft knuckles. And we're going to take a big breath in and let out an ah with a smile. Ah, good. And then just knock gently or use your thumbs and get into the ribs, just halfway down into the rib cage. These are also part of the tapping technique, if you're familiar with the tapping technique, which we go over in the anxiety video. So we want to shake that out. So 1, 2, and 3. The 3 thumps for well-being. Brings balance as well to your nervous system. The next thing that we'll do is we're going to march in place to create some brain balancing. So if you're standing, you can just march in place and touch opposite elbows. Nice and simple, right? That's why going on a walk is so good for us. Besides the steps, it balances our brain. If you're seated, make sure that your belly's pulled in, you're nice and firm in your core, and then just lift a knee and tap, like you're walking in place. So you're crossing that arm over the body, you're waking up both sides of the brain. So you can do this at work if you're working from home, or you're between Zoom meetings, or you're at your physical place of work now and you just need a little break. You can do this at your desk. These are all super nourishing for your nervous system. So you could do this as long as you want. You could, try to bring your elbow to your thigh, whatever works. Good. And then we'll just open up the hips a little bit. So cross one ankle over let's go right ankle over your knee or thigh, if that's accessible to you. And we'll just do a little hinge forward and just open up the hips a bit. And breathe. This is good no matter what you're working with, depression, anxiety, just normalizing your nervous system. A good hip opener is beneficial for all of that. And you can, again, stay in this as long as you want. I'm going to demonstrate coming out of that, going into the other side. Full deep breath. So again, think about equal breath. So breathe in for about a count of 4 or whatever number you do, and breathe out for the same. Good. And come on out. And this will be a place where you could check in and think, okay, is there anything else that I need right now? Like, what does my body need? Do I need a little neck stretch? Do I need wrists to be released? Let's do a little wrist release. In case you've been on a keyboard for a while, let's do wrists and then go into the shoulders and elbows. So it's like you're swimming underwater, but like a mermaid or something, right? This is kind of a fancy way to swim. And then reverse. Just let your joints move in a really fluid way. If you're seated, you can also work with your legs and your ankles and feet. If you feel like standing, you can just, move your hips around, move your knees. So take 1 minute on your own to just work with the joints of the body. Anything that bends, you're gonna move and just see if you can get some movement and some nourishment to those joints. Release any tension and stress. Was there any place in your body when we were checking in the beginning that said it didn't feel well, or it was feeling a little tight? If there was any reports in the beginning, take a minute to give those areas some TLC. And then when you're done, you can find your seat. Again, if you were standing, find a way to sit and feel support. And one of my favorite things to do is mantra or affirmations, just repeating something that's affirmative, so that our mind doesn't always have the space to ruminate or to think or to plan and go into the past or the future, but just be in the present moment with a truth that we are cultivating for ourselves or something that we need to remember. So one of the things I love to do is combine self-soothing body holds with affirmation. We've done this in one of my yoga classes before, and I'm going to teach it to you now. Now, if you don't remember the words, well, one, you can always access this video, or you could write it down and then use it later, or you can just be inspired by it and choose your own words and do that. So this is just a jumping off point. So let's bring, these are self-soothing words and holds. So we're going to bring the left hand over the heart and the right hand over the left hand. So here we are at the heart, and take a breath. And we say, may I be filled with loving kindness. And you can say that out loud or in your mind. Say it 2 or 3 times. May I be filled with loving kindness. And then bring your right hand to your belly. Keep your left hand on your heart. May I be well. May I be well. May I be well. Keep your hand on your heart and bring your right hand to your forehead. And say, may I be peaceful and at ease. May I be peaceful and at ease. Sending peace to your mind. Keep your hand on your forehead. Take your other hand and bring it behind your head so that you're just cradling your head. Take a breath. May I be happy. May I be happy. So much of our happiness comes from what we choose to focus on. May I be happy. And then bring your hands back down and we'll just briefly review. Left hand on the heart, right hand on top. May I be filled with loving kindness. One hand comes to the belly. May I be well. One hand to the forehead. May I be peaceful and at ease. And then cradle the head in both hands. May I be happy. And let your hands come down and rest on your legs or wherever feels comfortable, and just take a moment to notice any shifts in your nervous system. And know that we are always moving on a spectrum in our nervous system, that we're never in a perfect balance. And as we listen to our bodies, we can learn to give them what they need, so we can do energizing practices if we're feeling low or depressed. We can do calming practices for our nervous system if we're feeling anxious. And we can continue to cultivate balance by doing a balanced practice of movement and breath to maintain a sense of wellness. And this practice is fine if you're not sure if you need to do it, like a practice for depression or anxiety. If you're not sure and you're just not feeling great, or if you just want a little boost to support yourself, this practice is appropriate. And maybe even from this practice you will get a little more connected to what your needs are, and you can move into another practice. So I hope that you found this beneficial, that you take what works for you and leave the rest. Know that if ever you are in a place of anxiety or depression or a mental or emotional state that you feel isolated and alone and you need support, know that we are here for you, that we are all here for each other at Temple Isaiah. And there are resources on our website that open our hearts. Part of Temple Isaiah is there for you. We have lots of resources and phone numbers. Our clergy is there for you. And know that we are all going through things all the time, and that we can be there for each other, and we're stronger together. Namaste and shalom.